for Richard Williams to make his long-awaited move into the top grade. Talented, sharp punching, some believe our #1 light middleweight. But after domestic dust-ups and problems with injuries now seemingly behind him, a vital year, Jim, for Richard Williams, maybe the most crucial yet.
I would say so, definitely, but I think we're just about to see the best of Richard Williams. I think last time out he was superb. He pulled it all together against Samuels last time. He showed every aspect of the game: defence, attack, taking a shot, dishing out a better shot, and found out a wonderful decision that day, a wonderful performance. As I say, I think we're about to see the best of him now. Hopefully he'll start that this evening.
It's so noisy here at York Hall. There's been some fantastic nights of late. I remember Johnny Tapia, but feels pretty special here. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape. Williams at 31, the younger man by a year. The height advantage and reach goes to Pestraev, and both comfortably inside the 11-stone limit. Pestraev, who's been around for over a decade. Williams had a couple of years off, but been back seriously for about 3.5 now. More fights, more rounds boxed. Experience of Pestraev. Look at that knockout percentage. He's a big hit to Richard Williams, and Pestraev has been knocked out at welterweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's standing room only here at the legendary York Hall, Bethnal Green. Barry Hearn for Ringside Boxing Promotions, in association with Prince Promotions and Matchroom Sport, proudly present 12 rounds of boxing for the IBO and WBF Light Middleweight Championship of the World. Sponsored here by PokerMillion.com for a great game of online poker. All the officials have been appointed by the IBO President Ed Levine of Coral Gables, Florida, USA. He has appointed fight supervisor Mr. Gerard Paxton Woolard of Glasgow, Scotland. The supervisor from the WBF is Mr. Alex Papafio. Timekeeper at the bell, appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, is Mr. Greg Hughes. Our 3 scoring judges here at ringside, all scoring the 10-must system. Firstly, from the USA, Valerie Dorset. From the USA, Jim Humayun. And from England, Mr. Terry O'Connor. The referee in charge of the action from Wolverhampton, England, is Mr. John Coyle. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the officials. Here are the contestants. And now, introducing to you, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white, weighing in at 10 stone, 12 pounds, 13 ounces, bringing a 34-fight record, 29 wins, 19 inside the scheduled distance, 4 losses and 1 no contest. He comes to the ring as the reigning and defending WBF light middleweight champion of the world from Russia. It's Andrea Pestraev. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the red trunks. He weighed in at 10 stone, 12 pounds and 14 ounces, 18-fight record, 16 wins, 14 inside the scheduled distance, and just 1 loss. He is the reigning and defending IBO light middleweight champion of the world, the Secret, Richard Williams. So, sports fans and Sky Sports fans, let's get the action underway. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBO and WBF light middleweight championships of the world.
Okay, guys, I've spoken to you both. I just want 3 things: obey my instructions, obey the rules, and let's see good sportsmanship. Shake hands, good luck.
The IBO 11-stone champion, Richard Williams, defends the belt that he won impressively in this very ring in Bethnal Green against the well-respected Shannon Taylor. Now, for the Russian, who came to Nottingham to take the WBF title from Williams's promotional stablemate, Steve Roberts. Confident talk this week from the usually meek, unassuming, nice guy of British boxing. He says he wants to blow Andrei Pestraev away. Could he make a statement here?
Yeah, well, I think he must realise if he wants to make an impact at the genuine world level, then he has to be blasting people out at this level. We know he is world champion, but not Premier Division stuff, so he really has to do a job tonight. But I really feel he's just about ready to pull it all together.
Big, strong, and has ability, Pestraev, in fight number 35. But the elite fighters have dealt with him. James Page knocked him out, and knocked him out cold in a WBA 10 stone 7 title fight. So how strong is he at light middleweight? Steve Roberts would say very.
I think Steve Roberts was coming to the end of the road when he boxed Pestraev. I don't really think his heart was in the game anymore. But nevertheless, Pestraev still had to do the job, and he did it well.
Yes, he almost stopped Steve Roberts, the West Ham southpaw, thinking about his future. He was offered a rematch, and the camp turned it down. So it's Williams who has the chance of British revenge.
Williams is a thinking fighter, and sometimes thinking fighters start slowly taking it like a good look at the opponent. But he wants to get right down to business here, letting good punches go already.
Left hand low of Pestraev. So right hand from Richard Williams. Will the Russian be able to take the punches of this good combination boxer? It's a good, straight, strong jab from Richard Williams, who at times people think of is very classy indeed when everything's going smoothly.
This is a good positive start from Williams. Already he's making Pestraev change his mind, start to try to bring the fight to Williams. He likes to counter punch, mess opponents' heads about for a couple of rounds. But Williams is making him work straight away.
Commanding the ring. Sensible start from the sensible Stockwell fighter and man. Good right hand. Half catches Pestraev.
Two first-class stamps, please. Is that it?
Sorry?
How about chucking in an envelope? Or some of those elastic bands over there, yeah?
Don't forget, not all deals are as generous as Citroën Saxo from 5795, including £1,000 cashback. The C3 from 7495, including £1,000 cashback. Or the Zara Picasso from 10995, including £2,000 cash.
The composed corner of Richard Williams. Don Davis missing tonight because he's ill. It's being led by John Sims.
Now that was an impressive opening round from Williams. Everything controlled, but just had that little edge, sharpness, the punching power. A couple of times he landed solid shots onto Pestraev's whisker. Excellent opening round.
Second round and the 19th fight of Richard Williams' professional career as he comes out and tries to throw a left hook, a little bit like he did when he fought Tony Bedea and won the Commonwealth title in emphatic style. Can this be another big night for Richard Williams after a mixed last couple of years, coming off the two cracking fights with Paul Samuels, the banger from Newport, first one ending controversially in a draw. Williams won the rematch in 10 pulsating rounds.
It's impressive the way Williams is walking right up to Pestraev before he lets the punches go. He's intimidating him already. Not throwing long, wide punches, just stepping right up.
The general feeling was that Pestraev was not quite the fighter of old, when he came over in the summer last year. As Jim was saying, maybe it was Steve Roberts that made him look better than he was. We'll wait to find out here. To get through on the inside, Williams. Fast hands.
Yeah, Williams doesn't want to wrestle up close. I mean, that's Petraev's plan, try to nullify the work. Just wait for the referee to break you, then get down to decent work again.
It's not always pretty, Andre Pestraev. So right hand, straight through the middle from Richard Williams. He's in punching range already. And that's good signs for the IBO champion.
Pestraev's going to have to find a little bit more power in his shots. Williams is coming right through his leads, and he's going to be in serious trouble if he can't keep Williams at bay.
19 knockouts for Pestraev, and the majority came at welterweight. It's 10-7, and Richard Williams, quite a big, solid now light middleweight.
It was also nice to see Williams come in comfortably inside the weight, natural light middle.
Some noise here at the York Hall from the Earlsfield Amateur Boxing Club. They're all down here to support their former man, Richard Williams. Well, that win over Wayne Alexander in the unpaid ranks. Will they ever meet in the professional? So far, so good. Richard Williams defending his IBO title for the third time, looking to add the WBF belt to the collection. They seem pretty happy with him, are you?
Yeah, well, my instructions would be just do pretty much as you're doing and just start raising the pace gently. Everything's getting knocked into shape so far. 2 excellent rounds for Williams.
Round number 3. This is the one where he burst onto the scene, letting the secret out by winning the Commonwealth title against Tony Badea, walking right through him. And he hasn't quite done that with Andre Pestraev yet, but the signs are encouraging.
But Pestraev is the one who has to make an impression here. I mean, Williams has that deadpan look in his face, which never changes. Nothing that Pestraev's done so far has impressed him in the slightest, so he really has to come up with something a little bit better, some more snap in his shots.
It's also the round where the horrific cuts by the right eye brought proceedings to a halt. Referee Richie Davis stopping his fight with Paul Samuels first time around. It took months for the eyes to heal up, especially the right one. No damage in their rematch, none yet here. Left on the inside, but it was a better one back from Williams. Stronger, meatier.
That was significant, Adam. They both landed good left hooks, but Williams was the one that did the shaking. He shook Pestraev down to his boots.
Williams, who admits that Paul Samuels shook him to his boots in their second fight. And he overcame a lazy couple of rounds to dominate once more and pick up a crucial win. Now it's international opposition again. Can he make an impression on a fighter who's probably ranked 12 or 13 in the world, Pestraev?
Just a little bit careless at the moment from Williams. Just wants to tighten back up again, box his way in, just get the chin down.
Pestraev does not look as comfortable as he did against Steve Roberts. That was a majority decision, but the feeling at ringside was that he won it by a mile. Different prospect here, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I said at the beginning of the round he has to make an impression, and he's certainly trying to do that. He's putting a bit of snap into his punches. That was a better shot from Williams.
Right hand again makes Pestraev back pedal. No real plan from the Russian as of yet. Worried look on his face. He may have tasted a couple of these big shots from Williams. Don't know if he likes them.
Last year, I was lucky enough to win this for the third and final time.
We edge ever nearer to Cardiff.
You're in the last 8.
And the semi-finals are within touching distance.
Pressure's on.
This cup never ceases to amaze me. That's why we love it so.
Can you handle it?
But whose name's on the magical cup?
Get past this one? Who knows?
An FA Cup 6th round double tomorrow from 11 AM, Sky Sports 1. It's live. Live it.
Will this be win number 17 for South London's Richard Williams, and what would be one of the best of his career?
Well, I thought Pastraev gave as good as he got in the third round there. A little dip in Williams' concentration, I thought. It was far more sloppy in the third round than it was in the previous two. That was a beautiful left hook from Williams. But I think he took as many as he dished out in that round.
Well, this is round number 72 for Richard Williams in his career. Andrei Pastraev in his 209th. The Russian from Sturly Takmak in the black trunks. Bit of a row over the short colours. Williams in red. The secret.
Williams has to be careful not to telegraph what he's about. This fella's experienced.
Left hook to the body from Williams. Shows the variety. And Sandy Risler, the matchroom whip, who runs with Richard Williams, shouting from behind me, use the combinations. That's a good right hand, and the right leg just went of Andrei Pastraev. And again, the counter on the inside looked more effective from Williams.
That's the thing you notice when they both land good shots. Williams and that little bit quality, a little bit extra power.
Hunting for the right hand over the top. This is where Shannon Taylor unravelled in the fourth round after a sloppier start from Williams when he won the IBO title here.
Williams just wants to clean things up again, the same as he was doing in the first couple of rounds. Just don't get involved with this fellow, he's a spoiler.
Again tries the left hook to the ribs. Williams to lower the hands, and a right inside counter too. Are tactics good?
Tactics are good, but you have to give Pastraev credit. He's making a fight of it now. He's getting himself in here. Williams still may be edging this round, but certainly not dominating it.
Spot of blood from the nose of Pastraev, who walks into another Williams shot. Pretty intense when they get up close, and intriguing. Well, it's been a competitive division of late, the 11 stone boys. Takaloo, the WBU holder, most would say the #1 after that terrific win he had recently over Jim Rock. Some would argue Richard Williams possibly second, with Wayne Alexander moving up to middleweight. The Commonwealth holder, who's been out injured with shoulder problems, is Michael Jones. Steve Roberts, not sure what he's going to do. Gary Logan, who gave that great fight with Takaloo here a bit down the line. And Jamie Moore, a talent too. Would you put Williams at 1 or 2, Jim?
Yeah, well, I think maybe number 1. That would be a great match, but unfortunately, politics, I don't see it taking place. But not an easy round for Williams, but he just has that feeling, looking at him, he's still in the driving seat, but this fellow's really putting up a battle.
Such an amiable fighter, Richard Williams. He used to serve meals on wheels to the elderly, which he's had to give up just recently because his professional career has to come first. He's been living in self-imposed exile away from girlfriend Melissa and Tyler, his son. Will it work out?
This may be one of these jobs that's more difficult the longer it goes for Williams, because if this fellow takes him into the later rounds, his experience and his toughness and the fact that he's been in so many grueling fights, that experience is going to stand him in good stead. So Williams wants as many rounds in the bank as he can possibly achieve.
He's been around since September '92, Andre Pestraev, having fought in the Barcelona Olympics, and he even floored the great former Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, and in a fight that was eventually a no contest because of Whitaker's drug problems later on in his career. But that was a good performance. Good left hand from Richard Williams. He almost got the glove up there, Pestraev.
And the fact that Pestraev can come straight back onto the attack after a punch like that shows how tough he is.
They groom them hard from the part of the world he's from, in the foothills of the Ural Mountains, about 1,000 miles east of Moscow. Again, Williams tries to walk Pestraev down. Do you think he ever looks in bother, Williams, or is it always smooth and fairly easy for him?
Now, I always admire the fact that his face never changes. He always gives the impression the other fella hasn't made an impression, even when you know that he has. But that's all part of the game. That's all part of experience, just trying to get some kind of mental wars, to win the mental wars.
He said on an interview earlier this week that he had to get mean and nasty in the ring, Richard Williams, and then gave us one of those terrific smiles. Fabulous guy, isn't he?
But this is shaping up to be as tough as we thought it would be. Pestraev not prepared to lie down easily.
Left hook from Williams. Dogged and determined, Pestraev. But is he good enough? Can he do anything different, or does he just have to tough this out?
Toughness now comes in a brand new shape. The all-new Ford Transit Connect is here. International Van of the Year 2003. Job done.
Welcome back to the York Hall Bethnal Green. There's the statistics, and look at the success rate from Richard Williams. Does that tell a fair story?
Yeah, well, Williams doesn't waste too many shots. That's one of his strengths, especially over the 12-round distance. Everything rolling along nicely, but still a lot of work to do to get this job completed.
Well, here's the 6th round now of the IBO and WBF 11 stone or 154-pound titles, a sort of unification with minor belts. Pestraev holds the WBF, Williams the IBO, and it's Williams that has had the much better start, but he hasn't blown Pestraev away as he was indicating he would try and do.
And I would also remind us that Pestraev has proved his inner toughness in the past. William hasn't really had to do that as yet. So if this fight goes to the later stages, it could end up a real struggle for Williams.
As Pastraev just a year older, but he's had almost double the fights that Williams has, and 5 or 6 years ago was a genuine world-class welterweight. We don't know yet if Williams is world-class. Is the jury still out on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's boxing at first division level, boxing very well, putting in some excellent performances, but it is first division level, it's not the Premier League. But it gives you the feeling that he has that little bit of quality about him. But this is going to be a good test, because I really feel this is going to get tougher the longer it goes for Williams.
1 or 2 problems out of the ring as he just walks into a punch from Pastraev. Williams, he's had problems with mystery viruses and those cut eyes. Had illness as well in his amateur career, and the question may be whether he's got a slightly fragile quality to him. Is that fair or not?
Well, it's not fair to ask the questions, I suppose, because, I mean, there's nothing to suggest he doesn't have it, but he's never needed it because he's done everything well within himself so far in his career. Whereas, as I was saying earlier, Pastraev has proved a few times in the past he's got that inner toughness. And that's why I really feel, and this is probably the best round Pastraev has had in the fight so far. And I really feel this is going to get tougher and tougher as it goes on if Williams does not get this fella out of there.
It looks rock hard at the moment, Andrei Pastraev. Again, a left hook from Williams. He's really trying that one, isn't he, tonight?
Yeah, but I'd say the improvement is in the Pastraev corner at the moment. He certainly pulled himself together. And this is now the kind of fight that he likes. Williams still boxing well, but no way is he dominating the action here. That's better.
Right over the top from Williams to end the 6th round. And at the halfway stage, I wonder how Barry's seeing things back in the studio.
Well, I agree with Jim in the sense that I would give that round to Pastraev. It's the first round that Williams actually backed off. The problem that I see with Richard, and the thing that infuriates me about him, is he's smooth, he's beautifully comfortable in there, so relaxed. He's a rare throwback. We were just talking about how good he looks. He looks like a Carmen Basile over the 50s and so on. But he's got to have a bit more injection of pace. He's got to have the ability to jump in there and inject pace at times like that, and in fights like this. That's what will divide him between, or separate him between, being a domestic level fighter and a world-class fighter. He's got to do that. If he wants to get this guy out of there, he's got to get the pace yanked up right now.
Thanks very much, Barry. That's interesting stuff, Jim. Do you think that that's to do with Richard Williams' character in general?
I think it's his temperament. Yeah, he's a little bit laid back, and I tell you, this is too early to allow this fellow Pastraev into this fight. If it was the 9th or the 10th round and he had time to coast, you wouldn't mind. We're only at the halfway stage, and it's far too early to let this fella get confident.
There's your card, Jim. 3 ahead for Richard Williams, but the worrying thing from their point of view is that Pastraev still looks strong and is coming on.
He's the one who's improving at the moment. I mean, Williams had an excellent start, so you would expect Pastraev to have a couple of rounds where he would improve, but I would prefer to have seen it later in the fight. This is a dangerous stage now. This is where fighters start thinking about pacing themselves for the 12 rounds in case it goes the 12 and they drop the pace and maybe squander a couple of rounds that they shouldn't squander.
Williams never been 12 rounds. Pastraev has on 3 occasions. Is this a bad spell in the fight for the man who can have occasional switches off? Can't afford to get lazy now.
Well, I've seen Williams start poorly and turn it around. I don't like it the other way. I don't like it starting well and then losing your way a little bit.
Again, a combination from Pastraev, who will be growing in confidence. He came on well late against Steve Robert. It was the 8th round when he knocked him down and almost became the first man to stop the West Ham southpaw. I wonder if he's just thinking, I'm still there, and I've got plenty left. We don't know. Good solid jab from Williams.
William wants to walk Pestraev down the way he was doing in the early rounds. Walk him down before you let the punches go. That's better.
Good left hook. And again, the startled look on the face of Andrei Pestraev, who's a pretty